what it do? It's yours truly, Mr.Taliaferro. Now, I know this is going to sound like a hate Demarcus Cousins video. I'm fine with that, but trust me, I have a lot of respect for the game that Demarcus Cousins have. I was one of the people that was saying the New Orleans Pelicans need to find a way to keep him. They needed to work out a deal. I know he was coming out for the torn Achilles, but if I were the Pelicans, I would have found a way to keep Demarcus Cousins. Maybe, just maybe, Anthony Davis wouldn't be demanding a trade right now if he knew he was still playing alongside another all-star caliber player. Anywho, the Pelicans let Cousins go this offseason. Pretty much no team was interested in him. Let's just call it what it is. No one really wanted the services of Demarcus Cousins, that big of a guy coming off an injury that has pretty much derailed a lot of careers, torn Achilles. A lot of people thought Demarcus Cousins would never get back to all-star form. Team after team after team said, no, we'll pass. We want to at least see you for a year, get back to full strength. Then you can become a free agent again. We'd reconsider signing you. Well, Demarcus Cousins got tired of being told no, and he finally found a home that was perfect for him for at least this season. He ended up signing with the Golden State Warriors, the two-time defending NBA champion Golden State Warriors. They didn't need Demarcus Cousins. They don't need anyone. The Warriors' biggest threat at this point in the NBA is themselves. They can only beat themselves. They didn't need any more talent. They didn't need 25 and 12, whatever Cousins give you a night. But to add that to your lineup, let me make this clear. Anytime a great team can add an all-star caliber player, you take it. This is the NBA. It's not the NFL. Stars win in this league. If an all-star is available for that cheap, you make it happen. And the Warriors did that. I believe guys like Draymond and KD might have did Demarcus Cousins a favor. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure that all the Warriors wanted Demarcus Cousins on their team. Anywho, they signed him. He worked back from his injury around December, January. He was ready to go. And now the Warriors have 5 legit all-star caliber players on the court at the same time. Now the league is freaking out saying, oh my gosh, it's over. They're going to sweep everyone. No one can compete with 5 all-stars on the court. Listen, if you could beat the Warriors last year, in my opinion, you could beat them this year. By the way, the Houston Rockets had mentally defeated the Golden State Warriors last year. If not for a Chris Paul injury, they had the Warriors beat. Like I said, if you could beat that Warriors team last year, you could beat them this year. They're the heavy favorites, but Demarcus Cousins, in my opinion, doesn't do that much of a difference. If anything, to me, he makes this team a tad bit worse. I'm going to give you guys 10 legit reasons why the Warriors are better without Demarcus Cousins on the court. Whew, I am going to get some pushback, but I am fine. 10 legit reasons, let's get into it. The first reason I think the Warriors are just kind of better without Demarcus Cousins is body language. It's plain and simple. A lot of the times in life when you're working with somebody, you can tell if that person wants to be next with you, work with you, do business with you, just by their body language, their facial expressions, especially when things are not going right. When the Warriors are having a bad game, Demarcus Cousins' body language can tell an entire story. As a matter of fact, not just with the Warriors, with the Kings, his first few years in the league, and even with the Pelicans last year before he went down, his body language tells you everything you need to know. When things are great, usually he's great. When things are not so great, he's usually not so great. You need leaders to be leaders at all times. Demarcus Cousins is one of the most technical foul getters in the NBA. The other 2 guys are Kevin Durant and Draymond Green. They all play on the same team. And what happens a lot of times with the Warriors is one guy gets fired up and then the other guy gets fired up. Now you got KD getting a technical foul, and in the same game, Draymond's getting a technical foul. Now you add another loudmouth guy who complains about every call, and Demarcus Cousins, and you got a lot of technical fouls. The reason why I put this as the first reason I wouldn't have Demarcus Cousins on my team, a lot of people, including self, believe Draymond Green's technical fouls cost him a championship. Let's not forget, back in 2016, all due respect to LeBron and Kyrie Irving on that incredible comeback when they were down 3-1 to that Golden State Warriors team. A lot of us believe had Draymond not kick-started that 3-game losing streak and ejected for Game 5, a lot of us believe the Warriors would have finished that defeated Cavs team off. Cavs won 1 game. They ended up tying it up in Game 6. The rest is history. They won in 7 games on the Warriors court. Technical fouls are a big thing in Golden State. Like I said at the beginning of this video, a lot of us believe the only team that can go out and beat the Warriors consistently is themselves, the locker room, yeah, all that stuff. And when you got all these guys, these combustible elements on one team, you can understand why technical fouls is not going to be an issue for this Golden State Warriors team. They're going to rack them up and they're going to get on the refs' nerves come playoff time. Second reason why I wouldn't want Demarcus Cousins on my team. A lot of times he's lagging in the backcourt. I want to give Demarcus Cousins some respect in this regard. He was out of basketball for pretty much a year. It's going to take him some time to get his feet under him and get back in basketball shape. He's still not there yet as I make this video. But to me, Demarcus Cousins has never been the most athletic guy. I always felt like he could lose 10 to 15 more pounds just to show teams that he's super committed to his body and being around long term. When you're lagging in the backcourt, to me, it's a lot of 4-on-5 basketball offensively. Guys looking around, wanting guys to be in certain sets. With Demarcus Cousins being a big, sometimes you need him already placed so he can set that screen for a Klay Thompson, that down screen, or that screen for a Steph Curry. He slows the offense down and allows teams to pretty much play 5-on-4 defensively and kind of close off those shooting lanes, which will hurt a team like Golden State. He's kind of lagging in that backcourt. The third reason why I wouldn't want Demarcus Cousins on my team, that pick and roll defense is atrocious. He's one of the worst bigs in the league at pick and roll defense. Kind of piggyback off of that lacking in the backcourt conversation. A lot of times on defense, Demarcus Cousins is not where he needs to be, and he's trying to, when he does get back in the front court involved in the game, he's pretty much on the defense, no pun intended, and he's trying to find himself in the right position. And when you're going against those phenomenal guards in the Western Conference, like a Damian Lillard, like a Russell Westbrook, you got to be in your position. You got to be there as the possession gets underway. When Russ is ready to go, when Dame is ready to go, when some of these other phenomenal point guards in the Eastern Conference, like a Kyrie Irving, when these guys are ready to go, you got to be there. There is no time to be BSing, and a lot of times Cousins doesn't put himself in a good position. He already doesn't have quick feet. He's already coming off an Achilles injury, and he's slagging in the backcourt. So that pick and roll defense is a big deal, and Cousins is one of the worst. They actually be better off with guys like Looney in the game or Jordan Bell. Quicker feet, younger, more athletic. Those guys would be better than Cousins in regards to that pick and roll defense. And the fourth reason why I wouldn't want Cousins on my team, foul problems. Oh my gosh, this guy can rack up a lot of fouls in a few amount of minutes, right? A lot of people don't know this. Demarcus Cousins is 5th all-time in NBA history in fouls. He averages about 4 fouls a game, meaning you're pretty much guaranteeing this guy's going to get at least 2 fouls in the first quarter and not be available for your team. That's entirely too many fouls. You want to know why those fouls come about? Goes back to reason 3 and reason 2. He's sometimes still in the backcourt slacking on defense, and also that pick and roll defense is atrocious. He can't keep up with defenders. When guys hit the rim, you know you're going to get a little bit of contact for Demarcus Cousins because he's not great with his feet and being straight up. Demarcus Cousins has never been an elite defender. He's never claimed to be one. His thing is offense, but on a team like the Golden State Warriors, you really don't need a lot of offense. So that pick and roll defense and those fouls that he commit, those timely bad fouls, those are pivotal for a team that has championship aspirations for the 3rd year in a row. Another reason why I wouldn't want Cousins on my team if I'm the Warriors, he takes away from shooters. Ladies and gentlemen, Cousins can get his looks on most teams. He's an all-star level talent. I think I said that a few minutes ago. But on the Warriors, when Demarcus Cousins is shooting, we're taking away shots from Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. These are 2 of the 3-4 best players in the NBA. I want the ball in their hands. All due respect to Demarcus Cousins, I don't want to take 10 seconds to post him up and give that shot to him over Steph Curry. I want Steph taking that shot. If Steph does miss that shot, he's the best shooter of all time. at least I know there's a good chance he's going to make his next shot. In regards to Kevin Durant, if he does miss that 30-foot jumper, I'd rather him take that shot over Demarcus struggling in the post. I want my best players on the court taking shot. DeMarcus Cousins takes shots away from really, really great players. My sixth reason why I don't want Cousins on the Warriors, if I'm a Warriors fan. Specifically, he takes away from Klay Thompson and makes him the fifth option on that Warriors team a lot of nights. Yes, this is usually how the Warriors offense goes. The number one option is usually Kevin Durant or Steph Curry, depending on who has the hot hand, who gets them the basketball. A lot of times, Draymond is the guy with the ball in his hand. So I'd say he's probably the third option. Not to be a scorer, but to be a facilitator. We'll get to Draymond more in a second. So you got Draymond. Those are already three options. Now you got DeMarcus Cousins demanding that ball in the post. And who gets left out of the loop here? That would be, again, one of the other greatest shooters of all time, Klay Thompson. Like Steph, like KD, I want Klay Thompson getting looks. That guy is entirely too talented to be a fifth option on any team. And I don't care what court Klay Thompson is on. He should never be the fifth option at anything. He's too great of a player. You also got to worry about this with Klay Thompson. He's also your best defender that you got on the perimeter. Meaning, you need Klay Thompson engaged defensively. What's the best way to keep a guy who's got a great scoring ability engaged defensively? Get him shots, make him feel a part of the game. I mean, he can go out and lock any point guard up, but at some point, Klay Thompson's gonna be like, yo, I'm not gonna be playing 48 minutes of great defense on Dame, on Russ, on some of these other great guards like Kyrie, and I ain't gotta touch 5-8 possessions down because we're trying to feed the big fella. It's already bad enough I'm the fourth option a lot of nights. I can put up 60 any given night. I need that basketball, and rightfully so. Next reason why, if I'm the Warriors, I don't want DeMarcus Cousins on my team. I'd rather take Looney or Jordan Bell, is because he takes away from Draymond's usage. Now, what DeMarcus Cousins doesn't get a lot of credit for is he can actually really pass the basketball, and he can pass out of the post and even at the perimeter. No disrespect to DeMarcus Cousins, I want Draymond making those plays. First and foremost, if Draymond's not being that playmaker in that Warriors offense, it really doesn't make sense. We can't depend on Draymond to make an open three-pointer at this point in his career. He's shooting like 20% from the field, but you can count on him to be the facilitator. And the way the Warriors kind of hide Draymond's shooting woes is they put the basketball in his hand, or he sets a lot of screens, right? You put that basketball in his hand, so you kind of force a defender to stay up on him. If not, he can still get to the rim and score the basketball. He's a better, he knows that Warriors offense better than Cousins does naturally because he's been in it his entire career. He knows Steve Kerr, what he wants offensively, when it's time to get KD the ball, when it's time to get Steph the ball, and Klay Thompson the ball, and even Iguodala off the bench, and Livingston. This dude knows that offense like the back of his hand. He doesn't get enough credit for how high his basketball IQ is. I need Draymond running my offense. Anytime he's not running my offense, I'm a little bit concerned with that Warriors team. And with DeMarcus Cousins trying to take over that role, things just look a little bit more stagnant with him. You can tell he's a new guy. If you had not watched a minute of Warriors basketball all year, you would be like, yo, who's that guy kind of messing up my offense here? And that's what DeMarcus Cousins does sometimes naturally, just because he hasn't been around like some of these other guys. My eighth reason why I wouldn't want DeMarcus Cousins on that Warriors team. He slows down the offense. So I just told you about how he takes away from Draymond. When you're the Warriors and you're trying to play this post-up style offense in 2019, it's a reason why the Warriors have never had a consistent post player. First and foremost, I'm sure a lot of post guys don't want to go to Golden State because they know how quick the offense is and how little there is of an opportunity for you to get the ball 10-15 times in the post and not be efficient. There's a reason why Draymond at Michigan State was so effective in the post, and he's had to reform his game at the NBA level because he knows what that offense needs. We got enough shooting. We don't need you to be a shooter, baby. We need you to get us the ball. We want this offense going as quick as possible. We want open shooters in the corner. We want Steph to launch 35-footers. And hell, we got Kevin Durant for post play. If we really need somebody to go get us a post basket, we got one of the deadliest, most elite scorers in NBA history on our team. We don't need DeMarcus Cousins struggling, bustling, rubbling, tumbling, trying to get a basket, sometimes missing layups, sometimes getting fouled. We don't need Cousins getting fouled because we're the Warriors. He just slows down our offense. No disrespect, but it slows down everything. And if you're the Warriors, you don't need that. My ninth reason why I wouldn't want Demarcus Cousins on that Warriors team is he takes minutes away from young guys. Now, this is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Kerr at the beginning of the season, before Demarcus Cousins had even played a game with the Warriors, he said, look, this is just something we're doing for 1 year. Cousins is not a part of the long-term plan. They're going to have a hard time paying Klay Thompson and Draymond Green max money. As a matter of fact, if my calculations are correct, that will put their owner close to $1 billion over at the luxury tax. They don't have money to keep Demarcus Cousins. He will not be a part of their long-term plans. So with him not being there next year, you need to grow and develop these young guys. Looney might not be the guy this year with Cousins in the lineup, but next year you're going to need him on that rookie deal. Jordan Bell, these young guys who did have confidence, now you push them back further on the bench and you're doing it for 1 year. That's not how the Warriors have kind of built this thing. They got consistent role guys like a Quinn Cook, like a Sean Livingston. Iguodala's committed to being off that bench, the first or second guy off that bench. Everybody has bought into a role, and the reason why they buy into that role is because they know that role is going to be there for years to come, right? It's a system. Everything works. Everybody has to be zoned in. Now, when you start changing things up, when you bring in a guy like Demarcus Cousins, if I'm Jordan Bell, I'm sure when y'all drafted me, there were certain things y'all promised me. If I'm Looney, there were certain things y'all promised me, and I want to be looking to get paid at some point in my life. And if I'm not getting the minutes anymore because we brought in this rental, you're hurting my long-term career. Now I'm unhappy. You know Cousins is a rental. You know he's going to go try to get paid this summer. You know he's trying to break out and have stellar games so he could get the big bucks this summer. You know he's trying to show out. You know when the playoffs come around, he's going to want all the eyes on him. A finals MVP wouldn't hurt if you're Cousins. And that might hurt the team from a chemistry standpoint because you kind of got an outlier that needs a me mentality to make the big bucks this summer. He's going to try to look for a supermax. Now, my last reason why, if I was the Golden State Warriors, I wouldn't want Demarcus Cousins around. And this is probably the most important reason. And it's kind of unfair to Cousins. He hadn't had a full season with an all-star caliber guy. Be honest with you, Demarcus doesn't know how to win. There are a lot of rumors about Demarcus Cousins from a lot of stars. Reportedly, and I've heard this from a few guys in the NBA, a lot of stars around the NBA don't like playing with Demarcus Cousins. The Warriors took a chance on him because their system is so great. If he would have came in and really did something wrong, it would have released him. But in regards to just the NBA as a whole, stars don't like him. That's one reason why he didn't get picked up from anyone else this summer and he had to go to the Warriors. He's going to get a ring out of it, most likely. But stars were talking. Guys reported he don't like to play with him because he's kind of selfish. He has those bad technical fouls at bad moments. And guys look at it as like once he gets the ball in the post, the possession is over. If he gets that ball in the post, he's trying to ping you. More times than not, he can score. But in an NBA game where you need threes, sometimes you'd rather Demarcus Cousins get that double team and kick it out. He's great at passing on the perimeter, but if he's in that post, he ain't passing that basketball more times than not. And reportedly has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Reportedly, even the Lakers, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, they're looking for a second star, and they had an opportunity to sign Demarcus Cousins, bring him back around December and January, and maybe have a guy that LeBron could win around with, right? He wouldn't maybe have these problems that he has right now. LeBron needs a scorer. DeMarcus can put the basketball in the hoop better than anyone in the league. But reportedly, LeBron and Magic were on the same page about not wanting Cousins around those young guys because of his mentality and his reputation that he has around the league. With all that being said, man, like I said, if you can go get an all-star caliber talent, I don't care even if you're the Warriors, you go do it. But when you run a smooth machine, well-oiled machine like the Golden State Warriors, you have to acknowledge that bringing in Cousins is a risk. They lost to the Rockets the other day, and if you go watch that game back in totality, Cousins cost them a lot of possessions just by being selfish. There were possessions when Klay, Steph, or KD would make a shot. Next possession down, you think the way the Warriors run their offense, they want to go back to that. But if Cousins got that basketball, he'd be thinking me. And in that Warriors offense, it's literally who has the hot hand, who has the hot hand, who has the hot hand. Draymond gets that. For Demarcus Cousins, he's never played meaningful basketball. His teams have pretty much always been irrelevant at this point in the season. Ironically, the Pelicans played better ball without him last year. Once he went down, there's just this me mentality that a lot of people believe about Cousins, and they don't want to play with him. That's unfortunate for him because he's in that starting lineup to stay with the Warriors, and it's unfortunate for the Warriors if they genuinely don't like playing with him on the low, but they just wouldn't say nothing in the public. We will see. I think it's a very interesting storyline going forward as the Warriors look to make it a third straight NBA championship in a row. Like Klay Thompson said midway through the season, there's only one team that can beat the Golden State Warriors, and that's the Golden State Warriors. I'm out.